Hello, dear friends. I'm Randy Lee from therenaissanceredhead.com. And before I get into today's video, I want to apologize in advance for my slightly squeaky chair. This was actually my grandmother from Norway's chair, and it's just a little bit squeaky. But I wanted to talk about today how to get real love right now. Whatever's going on for you, whatever your life looks like, how can you get real love right now? Today is the day after Valentine's Day, and there's so much out there about love, and especially in the spiritual self-help world, there's a lot of talk about self-love, that you need to love yourself. And that's true, but I wanted to talk about how can we take that from an esoteric mental construct into an embodied experience. There is all this, there's so much out there about how you can't have the life that you want or the healing that you want or the relationships that you want if you don't truly love yourself. That life will mirror back to you the level to which you're willing to meet and love yourself. That will then be reflected in the quality of your relationships or your health or your money situation. And I do believe that. But how can we move that from a shiny Instagram post into real life? And I specifically wanted to speak to how to do that when your life feels like love is the furthest thing away, that it might as well be on the dark side of the moon. Maybe you are going through a very dark time of grief and loss and loneliness or disconnection. Maybe you've lost a loved one or a beloved pet that you'll never see again, or the heartbreak of a breakup, or you're in physical pain and chronic illness. Perhaps you have been through so much abuse and trauma that you feel like you've never even experienced love, that you don't even know what that feels like. Or you have so much self-loathing that you think, I don't even deserve to love myself, much less know how to. I've done too many unforgivable things, or I'm just not lovable. Or maybe you have tried your best to love, but every time you've opened your heart, you've either been abandoned or rejected, or that level of love wasn't reciprocated. And so it just feels like it's not possible for you. And so what I invite you to consider is that true self-love is not about something you do. It's about a remembering. It's about a willingness to receive more of who you truly are. And one of the most powerful ways to do that is through the conscious breath. And of course, the mind can go, oh, isn't there something else that's too simple? But here's what I want to invite you to look at. Your breath is God. Quite literally, your breath is God. Your breath is your prana, your life force, your spark. It is the divine in your body. And even if every other facet of the function of your body shut down, even if you were in a coma, as long as you were still breathing, as long as you still had breath in your lungs, you are still alive. And while I will be speaking about the power of conscious breath, I like to take it even a step further and look at it from this perspective. You are so loved that even if you weren't aware, or you chose not to participate in conscious breathing, in that connection with your body, with your breath, you are being breathed. The God within you is breathing you. the God within you loves you so much that even if you fought against it and you thought, oh, I'm going to hold my breath, I don't want to breathe. You could do that. And eventually you'd pass out and your body would just bypass your mind and start breathing again. So that's how loved you are. That the God within you, the divine, is having this dance of the human experience through the breath in your body. And so you are love. You are loved. You are lovable. You are loving, no matter what's going on in your life, no matter how unworthy you feel, no matter how isolated or lonely or heartbroken you feel. You cannot be separated from love. You can only forget. And so even in those moments where you feel like it's just too painful, I'm not even willing or able to take a conscious breath, you are being breathed. And I find that incredibly comforting, because there's been times when I've been in such pain that I couldn't even bear to deepen my breath. And that's okay, because that life force, that divine within you is breathing you and loves you so much and is there with you no matter what. But when we can take it a step further and have the willingness to participate in our own life force, in our prana, in our breath, bringing conscious breath to whatever we're experiencing is a profound act of self-love. And so I invite you to try it with me for just a moment. And before we do that, if you are in a place where you're in extreme pain of any kind, physical pain, emotional pain, mental pain, spiritual pain, sometimes the place to just start, because there can be so much resistance to even a conscious breath, is just to notice. Don't try to change your breath at all. Don't try to manipulate it or make it deeper. Just notice that you are being breathed. If you did nothing, you are being loved. And then when you're ready, when your body's ready, when your nervous system is ready, you can try to bring some more conscious breath into your beautiful, perfect self. And so let's do that for just a moment together. So imagine that the breath is coming up from inside you, from your pelvic floor, up through your solar plexus, up into your heart, up through your throat, all the way up to the top of your head. And when it gets to the top of your head, just hold your breath, not a hard hold, just hold it for just a moment, and then let the breath come out the top of your head and just cascade down your body, and then up again the same way. So we're doing like these circular breaths. So let's just do a couple of those right now. So it's and then just check in and see how you feel. And know that whether you're at a place where you can do a deep breathing like that or not, you are being breathed. You are being loved. And you do have access to this infinite love within you, this unconditional love that you are, that cannot be taken away, that is not dependent on your family, your partner, your health, your money, your living situation. It is who you are. It is your life force. You are never alone. The God within you is joyfully dancing through life in your body through your breath, and you can access that at any time. So I hope that that assists you today in bringing more love, or I should say receiving more of the love that you are in your life, because that's who you truly are. That's your true self. That's your essence. That's your true nature. And it's always with you. So even when you forget and you think, oh, I'm not consciously breathing, or I didn't remember, it's actually okay. When you can remember, come home to yourself through this practice or any practice that resonates with you. When you forget or you just can't get there, you're still loved. You're still loved. You're still lovable. And you're still loving. So until next time, dear friends, this is Randy Lee from the RenaissanceRedhead.com reminding you that you deserve a well-lived life and that you are so loved.